Vasyl Shtefko, a 55-year-old Ukrainian man, decided to enlist to fight against Putin's army, despite having lost both legs nearly 20 years ago. Like many of his compatriots, he volunteered shortly after Russian President Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine in February. His story, reported by the Daily Beast, is an example of courage and determination. On the day he made the decision, Vasyl was in the kitchen of his home in the village of Kusnita, in the Transcarpathian region, preparing pelmeni, traditional dumplings. It was then that he called his wife, Oksana, to inform her that he had enlisted and was heading east. I didn't think he would do it. I cried a little, Oksana confessed, still in the kitchen. But then I composed myself and went back to cooking. The village of Kusnita is not different from many others in Ukraine. Since the beginning of the conflict, 6 men from there, including Shtefko, have joined the 128th Mountain Assault Brigade, an elite unit with about 6,000 soldiers, known as the Transcarpathian Legion. This brigade already holds a special place in the country's history. In 2014, it was crucial in defending Luhansk airport, and in 2015, it fought bravely in Debaltsev, one of the largest combat zones in Donbass. During a break on the front lines, Shtefko recorded a video for the Daily Beast, explaining why he enlisted. I love my country, he stated firmly. Regardless of the obstacles I will face, I will overcome them to defend Ukraine. My country, put me back on my feet by helping me get prosthetics and offering me a pension, modest as it may be. Shtefko's decision to join the fight is even more impressive considering his physical condition. He has lived with prosthetics for nearly 2 decades, but that has never stopped him from moving forward. The war brought a new purpose to his life, a call he could not ignore. The soldiers of the 128th Brigade have immense respect for Vasyl. They see in him not just a battle comrade, but also a source of inspiration. Even amidst difficulties, his indomitable spirit and will to fight for the country are contagious. In an environment where hope can be scarce, stories like Shtefko's rekindle the flame of resistance and patriotism. As the war continues, Vasyl Shtefko's presence on the front lines serves as a powerful reminder that a man's strength is not just in his body, but in his heart and will. Vasyl and his comrades in the Transcarpathian Legion demonstrate the resilience of the Ukrainian people. Oksana, though worried, feels immense pride for her husband. Each day without news is a challenge, but she knows Vasyl is where he feels he needs to be. And while he fights, she continues to prepare pelmeni, hoping that one day they can sit together again, in peace, to enjoy a meal in their kitchen. The war has brought many challenges, but also revealed the depth of love and determination in those fighting to protect their home. The 128th Mountain Assault Brigade, known as the Transcarpathian Legion, she has proven relentless against the Russian-backed separatist groups in the Donbass plains. But what truly sets it apart is its special training for mountain combat, as explained by Yaroslav Halis, a soldier-turned-journalist and the brigade's press officer, to the Daily Beast. The Transcarpathia region is mountainous, separated from the rest of Ukraine by the curve of the Eastern Carpathians, and its military mountaineering traditions date back to the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Vasyl Shtefko, a determined man and auto mechanic, lost both his legs at the age of 38. He prefers not to disclose the details of the incident, but he has used prosthetics ever since. In 2014, he joined the Maidan protesters in Kiev, but was rejected by the brigade due to his disability, even though he had served in the military in Kharkiv during the Soviet era. Putin's war brought a new drive to his fighting spirit. He was even more determined to be part of the Transcarpathian Legion and fight for his country. However, he knew his disability could again be an obstacle. So, he opted for a bold strategy, lying. Shtefko falsified his medical documents, hiding his condition and using specially adapted prosthetics to pass the physical tests. The courage and determination in his eyes convinced the recruitment officers. He was accepted into the brigade, ready to face the challenges ahead. On the front lines, the brigade's experience and training in mountain combat proved vital. The skills acquired on the steep slopes of the Carpathians gave them a unique advantage against their enemies. Shtefko, despite his condition, quickly adapted to the challenging terrain, showing resilience that inspired his comrades. Each mission was a test of his strength and will. He moved with agility, his prosthetics becoming an extension of his body. On the cold mountain nights, around campfires, the soldiers shared stories of bravery and loss. Shtefko, always with a smile, was a symbol of hope and determination for everyone. Yaroslav Halas, now the brigade's press officer, frequently reported on the exploits of his comrades. Shtefko's story quickly spread, not as a lie, but as an example of overcoming adversity. He is a true hero, Halas said. His determination and fighting spirit are an inspiration to all of us. Despite all the hardships, Shtefko never stopped fighting. He knew that each day on the battlefield was a new opportunity to defend his homeland and show the world that courage knows no bounds. With each ambush and confrontation, he stood firm and strong, reminding everyone that human willpower can overcome any obstacle. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The war raged on, and the Transcarpathian Legion remained on the front lines. Shtefko, now a living legend among his comrades, continued to fight, driven by his love for his land and his desire to see Ukraine free. In the letters he sent home, he wrote about the daily challenges and his longing for his family. Oksana, always worried, eagerly awaited each piece of news, proud of her husband and the sacrifice he was making. Vasil's words, even on paper, conveyed the strength and hope he carried in his heart. The war was relentless, but it also revealed the true character of individuals. And Shtefko, with his story of resilience, showed everyone that no matter the difficulties, determination and fighting spirit should never be underestimated. As the Transcarpathian Legion continued to etch its name into Ukraine's history, Vasil Shtefko became a symbol of resilience and courage, exemplifying that even in the most adverse conditions, the human spirit can triumph. If you found Vasil Shtefko's story inspiring and want to follow more tales of bravery and resilience, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our War News channel. Together, we can continue to explore and share the incredible stories of those who fight for their countries and their beliefs. Shtefko, determined to join the fight, informed the commission that he had only one prosthetic. Without pulling up his pants, "It's almost impossible to know," he said his wife, Oksana. Everyone found out in the combat zone when he accidentally broke one of his prosthetics. Working on the battlefields of eastern Ukraine as a driver and mechanic, Sergeant Shtefko, as he is now known by his compatriots, continues his family's tradition of semi-legal military service. His father enlisted in the Red Army during World War II, claiming to be 18, though he had not yet turned 16. The son of a Russian mother, Shtefko speaks openly about his connection to Ukraine. Things happen differently in the army. There are often conflicts, especially when people come from different areas, he said in his video message to the Daily Beast. Although it's different, my soul is happy to be here. There are many young people around us, but all the guys are patriots and well integrated. It's a joy to serve alongside them and see a united Ukraine fighting for a common goal. At the front line, Shtefko's resilience and determination were remarkable. Even with his physical limitations, he never hesitated to perform his duties and help his comrades. When one of his prosthetics broke during a mission, the entire unit worked together to improvise a temporary solution until a new prosthetic could be sent. This incident revealed his condition to everyone, but also solidified the respect and admiration his comrades had for him. Sergeant Shtefko was not just a soldier. He was a symbol of perseverance and courage for everyone around him. His ability to overcome physical and emotional challenges inspired those fighting alongside him. Each day on the battlefield was a new opportunity for him to demonstrate his devotion to Ukraine and the dream of a free nation. Despite the adversities, Shtefko became a vital part of the Transcarpathian Legion. His experience as a mechanic allowed him to keep vehicles running, essential for the mobility and efficiency of the brigade in the mountains and plains of Donbass. Moreover, his constant and positive presence boosted troop morale. While fighting in the east, he maintained regular contact with Oksana, who always eagerly awaited his calls and messages. He is my hero, she said. Every time I hear him say he's okay, my heart fills with relief and pride. The war brought many difficult moments, but it also brought a sense of purpose and unity that Stefko had never experienced before. He knew that the fight for Ukraine's freedom required sacrifices, and he was willing to do his part, no matter the difficulties. The war scene was relentless, but in the rare moments of silence on the battlefield, Stefko reflected on his journey. He remembered the times before the war, the difficulties he faced adapting to his prosthetics, and the decision he made to fight despite everything. He knew that each step, each effort, contributed to a better future for his nation. And as the Transcarpathian Legion continued to write its history, Stefko remained a pillar of strength and determination. His journey was a testament to the fact that even in the most adverse circumstances, the human will can find ways to triumph. The road ahead was uncertain, but Stefko was prepared to face it, knowing that his fight was not just for himself, but for all those who believed in the freedom and unity of his beloved country. As the war dragged on, the 128th Mountain Assault Brigade, with the Transcarpathian Legion at the forefront, continued to excel in crucial battles. Stefko, with his unwavering determination, was becoming more and more of a living legend within the unit. He was known for his ability to improvise quick and effective solutions, whether for repairing damaged vehicles or motivating his comrades in moments of discouragement. However, the war wasn't just about battles. There were also moments of waiting, where uncertainty hung in the air. During these times, Stefko often shared stories of his life before the war, the difficulties he overcame, and the reasons that motivated him to keep fighting. His accounts, full of emotion and sincerity, served to strengthen the bonds between the soldiers and reaffirm each one's purpose there. On one of these nights, as the soldiers rested in an improvised shelter, Stefko decided to open his heart. When I lost my legs, I thought my life was over, he began, his voice resonating through the shelter. But it was precisely this loss that taught me the true meaning of fighting. No matter how many times life tries to knock us down, what matters is how we get up and keep going. His words deeply resonated among the soldiers. Each of them, in some way, had their own internal battles, their own losses and pains. Seeing Stefko, a man who had lost so much and yet remained steadfast, was a powerful reminder of resilience and courage. As the war continued, Stefko faced new challenges. On a particularly dangerous mission, his unit was tasked with retaking a strategic position occupied by separatist forces. The mission required precision and bravery, and Stefko, with his experience and leadership, was appointed to lead the offensive. The operation began in the dead of night, with the soldiers moving stealthily through the shadows. Stefko, using his improvised prosthetic, led the group with skill. Every step was calculated, every movement precise. The silence was broken only by the whispers of orders and the rustling of uniforms. When they reached the attack point, the tension was palpable. Stefko signaled to his men, indicating it was time. In a coordinated move, they advanced, catching the separatists by surprise. The ensuing battle was intense, with gunfire and explosions lighting up the darkness. Stefko, however, remained calm, guiding his men with precision and courage. The battle was won, and the position was successfully retaken. The soldiers celebrated, but Stefko knew the war was far from over. There were still many challenges ahead, many sacrifices to be made. However, that victory was an important milestone, proof that even in the most adverse conditions, determination and courage could prevail. Back at the camp, Stefko received congratulations from his superiors. "You did an exceptional job, Sergeant," said one of the commanders. "Your leadership and courage are inspiring." Stefko just smiled modestly. "I'm just doing what is necessary to protect our country," he replied. "The real strength comes from all of us, working together for the same goal." As night fell over the camp, Stefko reflected on the future. He knew there was still a long way to go, but he was determined to keep fighting, not just for his homeland, but also for the men by his side, who shared his vision of a free and united Ukraine. The war continued to test his skills and resilience, but Stefko was prepared. Every challenge, every battle, was an opportunity to demonstrate his determination and inspire others to do the same. He knew the road would be difficult, but he also knew that with courage and unity, they could overcome any obstacle. And so, with his heart full of hope and his mind focused on the mission, Stefko and his comrades continued to fight, day after day, for a better future for Ukraine. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Sergeant Stefko's presence in the combat zone became a symbol of resilience and determination for his comrades. Each day was a new challenge, but also a new opportunity to prove that willpower can overcome physical limitations. One day, during a particularly difficult offensive, the brigade faced an ambush from separatist forces. Stefko, with his skill and experience, took command of the situation, guiding his comrades and ensuring that everyone held their ground. His precise commands and his example of courage inspired everyone, and the brigade successfully repelled the attack. After the battle, while tending to his wounded comrades and helping repair damaged vehicles, Stefko reflected on his journey. He had gone through moments of doubt and fear, but never let those feelings dominate him. His determination to serve and protect his homeland had taken him beyond what he imagined possible. The war continued, but each day brought a new sense of purpose for Stefko. He knew that his fight was not just against the enemy on the battlefield, but also against the limitations that life had imposed on him. And he was winning. If you were inspired by Sergeant Stefko's story and want to follow more emotional and courageous accounts like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to our War News channel. Together, we can honor the bravery of those who fight for their homeland and keep the memory of their incredible stories alive. Don't miss the upcoming chapters of this journey of courage and determination.